All right, what's going on, Giants fans? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, and the Giants have hired a defensive coordinator. They've hired former Titans defensive coordinator Shane Bowen, who's 37 years old. Been their defensive coordinator the last 3 years after being their outside linebacker coach. Was with the Texans with Mike Vrabel and Ohio State. He's kind of a Mike Vrabel guy. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're going to have a full breakdown on the podcast tomorrow. I'm going to do film on his defense. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and to like this video. So this always felt like the backup hire for the Giants, right? When we did our DC coordinator preview, he was like, tied for third for me with Jerome Henderson after Denard Wilson, who joined the Titans to be the defensive coordinator from the Ravens, and then Bobby Babich, who was the Bills linebacker coach, who Sean McDermott, promoted to that defensive coordinator position. Jordan Renan put a report out that, hey, their top two hires got hired, so they've had to recalibrate. And Shane Bowen, to me, seems like the safe hire, right? I don't think this is an overwhelming, hey, man, this guy's an innovator in the game. I think he's been good with good players, and with bad players, he's been average. Basically about him, right? He runs a 3-4 defense, so the Giants will stay in that type of defense. His rushing defenses have always been good, right? But the passing defense is not. Like, rushing defense ranks in his 3 years 4th, 1st, and 4th. Passing defense, 24th, 27th, and 17th. And then as far as scoring, they've been 16th, 13th, and then 5th. And that's going from this past year until 2021. So this past year was his worst year, but it was kind of the worst players he was dealing with. He likes to play press man coverage, but didn't always have the guys to do it, right? His go-to coverages are cover 1 and cover 3. And then we'll sprinkle in a little bit of quarters coverage in there. Not going to get creative in his blitzing packages. He's been involved in the league in blitz rate and pressure rate, right? Like you see some of the lowest blitzing teams in the NFL, like the 49ers, they get higher pressure rate. That hasn't been the case with Shane Bowen, right? Their blitz rate has been 28th, 26th, and 23rd. Their pressure rate's been 22nd, 18th, and 26th, with some good rushers over there, right? Danico Autry, a little older, Harold Landry, and then Jeff Simmons, the stud defensive tackle. They have been able to produce sacks, though. They've been middle of the league in sacks, despite the fact not blitzing or getting a ton of pressure. So again, the single high, stack the box, stop the run, and play your I feel like this doesn't hurt any of the Giants players, right? Like, I think the corners are fine. Dex is going to stay as a nose tech, which is huge. I think the linebackers will again benefit from playing in a stack the box instead of a light box, where I thought Micah McFadden might struggle to play in a defense like that. And Bobby Okereke would be good like he was in the Colts, but maybe not as good as he was this past year for the Giants. So again, he's always stopped the explosive runs, but he had, passing explosives, they've always been bottom of the league, which is funny how the Giants ended up beating them in week 1, 2022. Been very good on the key moments, right? Red zone and third down. That's to me where I like this. I don't know if it tells a story, but where you can see some good defensive coordinator play, and that's where he's been the best. And that's why, even though his passing defense has been below average, he's always been top half of the league in scoring. Red zone percentage, he was first last year, right? 15th the year before and 7th his first season. And then third down conversions, he was 17th this past year, not good. And then 3rd and 6th. So again, I think this is a safe hire. This does not change everything. I feel like this is a significant, step below Denard Wilson and Bobby Babich and what those two young guys are going to be able to bring. And Shane Bowen is still young. He's only 37 years old. He's just had that defensive coordinator experience, and his defenses have gotten worse every year that he's been there. But I do think that's a little talent induced. I was talking with someone who covers the Titans, and what he said to me is that, hey, with good players, he's going to be a good defensive coordinator. You're going to have a good defense. With average players, average. And then, with bad players, they have not bottomed out in Tennessee. So credit to Shane Bowen for that. Another thing schematically that I like, that was told he likes to use his safeties interchangeably, which is huge for the Giants with Jason Pinnock, Xavier McKinney. If they go out and get another safety, that was huge for them, right? It makes it harder to prepare for it. And McKinney can come down. He could be your, box safety. He can play that deep middle of the field, or he could play too high. And Pinnock is the same way, even though Pinnock doesn't have a ton of coverage or feel for those too high coverages. But I think that, safety could be something that they look to upgrade. But hopefully Xavier McKinney is able to stay. So we'll break it all down again. We're going to go start watching film on this. But basically, 3-4 defense, stack the box, not going to blitz a lot. Coverages aren't going to be too crazy. Likes to press up when he has the talent, and the Giants have been drafting to play press man coverage, and hopefully the Giants can get some good players that he can get the most out of. So appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. We will see you on the podcast and the film and all that. Until then, let's go big.